That's who a man of God should be. That's who the leader should be. The leader should say, hey, you guys do what I say, but close your eyes over the things that I do. Let me tell you, that thing is a big lie from the pit of hell. The Apostle Paul said to his son Timothy, Timothy, thou hast known my doctrine and my way of life. Don't follow a man whose way of life is not worthy of praise, whose way of life is not commendable. He says, you have known my way of life, my manner of life, and my doctrine. So my doctrine is not enough. And it is a big lie to think that we can disciple people, that we can train people and equip them into who they have to be in God through doctrine only. It's a big lie. I have written unto you, O Theophilus, about the things which Jesus of Nazareth began both to do and to teach. Impacting lives, training people not into little zombies in the ministry that you can manipulate and push left and right, but people who are mature, who cannot be tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine, people who have grown to the fullness of the stature of Christ and who are ready unto every good work, fully equipped for the work of the ministry. To build that kind of people, doctrine is not enough, words are not enough. My manner of life and my doctrine. And that is why he could tell the Corinthians, follow me as I follow Christ. So ask yourself this question very seriously. If you are leading up to one person in your life, ask yourself, would following me be the same as following Christ? If this person begins to imitate me, my lifestyle, my conduct, my doctrine, my reactions, my attitudes, my heart dispositions, if this person begins to imitate me, would imitating me be the same as imitating Christ? You became followers of us and of the Lord. So Jesus has made provision. Now, let me also correct this one. You see, there's a false doctrine out there of the independence of the believers. In Christianity, we are not independent. We are dependent on one another. Now, we are not subservient. We are not slaves to anybody. You're not supposed to be, so much subjugated by another person, by a leader, for example, that you lose your ability to discern truth for yourself. That one is no longer following. That one is unhealthy. And I see that in a lot of places. I see those tendencies. Sometimes in very good and great ministries. But if the leader is not careful to hush down to cramp down on those tendencies, the people will begin to so much elevate him that they will lose their ability to discern truth outside of the four walls of their ministry. That is why there are believers who cannot be blessed by a man of God other than their man of God. If you are in that situation, you have been deeply zombified and you are sick. You need to get out of that coma. Alright? But we are not independent. We can't be isolated. I do my own things. It is my life. Whenever I hear a believer say it is my life, it's the most carnal thing. That statement irritates the Holy Ghost. It's not your life. Jesus bought that life. In 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul says, you are not your own. You were bought with a price. And therefore you should live unto the one who has shed his blood for you. You can't live unto yourselves any longer. Okay? So there is the error of the independence of believers. It's wrong. We depend on each other. Do you hear what I'm saying? We depend on each other. I think it's in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 20, that it says, submit to one another. Before he now starts talking about husbands, wives submitting to husbands and things like that. But he first of all establishes that holy foundation of being dependent upon another, leaning on each other. God has made provision for men to follow other men. Don't say me, I'm only following God. I don't follow any man. You are lying to yourself. If you have not identified men who follow God that you can follow, you live in a lie. It is not Christianity. I'm telling you, you must identify men, women that you can follow, but choose them carefully.